Transformers fans, this is Vector Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Armada Deluxe Class Thrust figure. Now, as I said before, I'm going to be doing reviews that are from the past, as well as those from the present, and maybe in the future. I might be able to one day be able to do future, but for now we're going to be taking a look in the present and the past. So, getting right to the figure, this is Thrust, and as you can see, it is a really cool looking figure. I really love the look of this figure. And he also does come with his little Minicon figure, whose name is Inferno. And for those of you who don't know, Transformers Armada was a television series that introduced, or I guess kind of reintroduced, Minicons back into the Transformers universe. And ever since then, we've seen many examples of cool Minicons and whatnot. So, and the cool part is that the Minicons, when a figure came with a Minicon, it activated a cool function on every single toy. It's so cool. And I have a couple Armada figures, and each one, a Minicon can activate a really cool function. And Thrust actually has a really cool function as well. So, getting right to the figure, I am positive, I'm not even going to guess, that he received a ton of critique for his coloring. I'm almost positive that is not the coloring that was in the G1 television series. This is not his coloring. However, you can't deny that it looks really cool. And I love how they remade the head. If you're taking a closer look at the head, you can just see how really spot on that head looks. That way, I'm focusing in a little bit so that way you guys can see it. And I love how they've made the cone kind of like tilted back instead of going like this. And if you do that, it kind of looks like he's got like shades on, like protective shades to protect his eyes or something. I mean, you don't have to do that, but I think it looks kind of cool. In terms of his articulation, he is pretty limited, unfortunately. So the entire arm is made up of his, basically, engine. Sorry, I had to think of it for a second. His engine, basically. And, I mean, it does look cool, but it also, having his wings here is just not very cool looking, in my opinion. I mean, now, don't get me wrong, I do love the look of this figure, and I do love the really cool detail right here. This is really cool. I don't like how there's a screw right there. That's a bit unfortunate, but oh well. And you can see like there's tiny wheels, but it does actually come with a real wheel, so I mean, that's pretty cool. I like how it goes from silver to hot orange-ish color, which actually is really cool. I like it. And I love how there's a bunch of different colors. We've got silver, a cool green color, a red color. I mean, it is really cool. Whoa, whoops, my camera fell, sorry. Get that reposition. Okay, now getting back in terms of the articulation, his arms can move up and down, but that's pretty much it, unfortunately. They can move out, but you can't go fully because the arm is touching the back wing here. So, I mean, really, if you want to get a pose, it's either got to be like this, like this, like this. He does have an elbow joint, he does, but, I mean, it doesn't really help too much with the articulation as far as his arms go. His legs, however, have a ton of articulation. They really do. Now, for those of you who might be annoyed that there's a missile right here, there are a couple of ways you can fix this. First way is to take the missile out. And then you can see that, first of all, that it can lock. So that way you can have him standing up like just like that. Have it locked in place. Or, whoa, why is my camera falling? Oh, I know why, because I'm pushing on the surface. So, now you can see how his leg moves, and his toe can also move a little bit, which actually looks really cool. This is part of the vents, I believe, and they are so cool looking. I love how his entire body looks like it's a part of the transformation, but it also gives him a human kind of transformy look as well. one other thing I forgot to mention was the cool Decepticon logos. I mean, those are really nicely painted. They're not blobbed on there. You can see how there's some green in between the lines and whatnot. The cool Decepticon logos. Really, really dig that. Now, coming around to the back, his backside is actually really, really good in my opinion. You got a cool Decepticon logo here, and it's not really too much of a backpacky thing. I mean, I guess kind of, but if it really bugged you, now this isn't in the instructions, but you can take this off. I mean, it comes off really, really easily, but I just leave it on because I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. There are much worse backpacks out there. His waist also does move completely around. I'm gonna take this missile off. There, it's easier. See, you move completely around just like that. And that's pretty much it in terms of his articulation. So I'm gonna put him up to the side, and I do apologize that this might take me a minute. Oh no, he actually is surprisingly, he stands up pretty well and everything. I'm gonna put him right there, and I'm gonna take a look at his Minicon guy named Inferno. Inferno here has a pretty cool articulation for a small guy. He has 360 waist movement. Well, I guess don't know if that's the correct way to say it, but you understand it. His arms can move up and down like this. He can move out. That's about it, though. Can have him looking like this, like, ooh, I'm tough. And I really like the detail of his face. Let me see if I can focus it a little bit better for you guys. There we go. The detailing of his face is so cool. It really is. In terms of his legs can bend right here, so you can make him look like he's running. Oh, I get to go from an Autobot. Ah! His back is not the best, but, oh, I forgot to show you guys something real quick, but that's okay. And it has to do with this. This belongs to Inferno. And if you see here, there are two slots right here that tab into these two pieces here. Just like that. Oh. And that's what he can potentially look like, but I don't usually do that. He can, if you look here, and I'll zoom in a bit, you'll notice there's a little hole right here. And why is this not focusing? Come on, focus, focus. Okay, I guess it won't focus too much, but that's okay. You guys will be able to see it. So this tabs into this little hole right there, just like that. And now he's got this really cool gun, and you just go pew, 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 and it shoots off just like this. Come on. Oh, why is it not shooting? Come on. Uh-oh. There it goes. So that's his missile launcher, and that is really, really cool. It can also, you can take his gun, and it can attach on thrust. Just like that. So, it looks really, really cool. Now, I'm going to show you some size comparisons right now. Let's get his Minicon out of the way. The first guy who I'm going to put in is actually his boss. And now, I'm sorry, my camera can't quite get the entire Galvatron's entire height, but you can see just how big he is compared to Thrust. So Thrust is a relatively small figure, but also we have to remember that Galvatron is a very, very big guy in the Armada series as well. He's huge. If Optimus Prime did not have a super mode, he'd be towering over Optimus. I mean, he's incredibly big in the Armada series. So taking him out, here he is next to Dark of the Moon, Skywarp. We'll get his Seeker buddy in there. And as you can see, they scale pretty nicely. They really do. They're about the same height or so. They're not too not too big, not too small. Thrust may be a little bit taller, so he's a little bit taller for a deluxe figure, but pretty small when compared to a leader class figure. So taking him away, I'm gonna bring in one of my favorite leader class figures. Hopefully we can see him. And here he is next to, sorry, let me get his legs all positioned. There we go. We're gonna put him like that because Megatron is a bit hard to stand. And as you can see, Thrust once again is pretty small. But then again, Thrust wasn't like a main character, and I don't think he had a big role either in the cartoon as well. So I mean, it kind of fits in. So his size is not too terribly off, and Megatron is a pretty big figure and everything. Can I get you to stand up right? I actually can. Huh. You decide to stand up. Good. Okay, so that's about it for articulation and size comparison. Now we're going to get right into the transformation, which is actually super, super simple. I have found that most Transformers that were made further in the closer to the original G1 toys are pretty simple to transform, but as you move towards the newer age, you get harder, 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 kind of simpler, then harder, harder, harder. So it does get harder as the years go on. But now Thrust is one of those guys that is super simple. So if you're looking for a toy to give to someone that has a really simple transformation and a great look, totally recommend this guy. So first thing we're going to do, oh, wait a minute. You know what I forgot to show you guys? I forgot to show you guys his cool gimmick. Like I said, Thrust does have a special power move. And the way to activate it is we first need to transform Inferno. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold his legs back like that. Then we're going to take his gun off Thrust. And we want this side, the side that has the circles on it facing forward, like this. But it can go the other way as well. So if you wanted to flip the entire thing over, you could do that. What's going to happen is these are going to tab into here on both sides. You flip both the arms around. There you go. And that's his Minicon Transformer, the cool truck. Now what can happen is you take the gun, and if you put the gun on here, and what he can do for Thrust is he can make a cool little shield attack move thingy. I don't know the exact name of it, but it's really cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the wings out. My camera will not stop falling down. I am so sorry, guys. We're going to take the wings out just like that. So they were folded in like this. So take them out just like that. You're going to turn his legs facing forward. You probably want to have his legs like this, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. Now what you're going to do, if you see where this circle is, you're going to line it up with that tiny little pin in the middle of the circle to the tiny little circle right here. You might need to position his arms out like this as well, so that way he can fit. Push that in. Cool, and then you're gonna see, now he's got a cool shield. Whoops, there we go, just like that. It's really cool in my opinion. I think it's cool, so that way he can dodge bullets and whatnot. That is really, really cool in my opinion. So then we're gonna push this back just like that, and then we'll get into his transformation. So bring back his body to the way it was. Whoops. Flip his crotch around just like that. Okay. So now to transform Thrust, it's, like I said, super, super easy. So you're going to bring his visors down. Bring the whole kind of green middle section forward. Flip the head around just like this. So the head's going to be facing like this. Turn the head facing you for forward. Then you're gonna push the entire thing down here, and this little pin right there is gonna go right into that little hole right there, just like that. Then, whoop, come on, Thrust, get in there. There we go. Okay. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna flip this down. You're gonna pull both the engine pieces there. If you see this little pin that is gonna tab right into that little hole, like that. You want to make sure that the elbow joint kind of lines up with the back too. There you go. Just like that. And then just pop out again. This part is a bit annoying. There we go. Okay, so the legs are a little bit tricky. Not too terribly though. So you have the leg joints here. You're going to flip the leg joint right that. Have the toe pointed. And you're going to push in. And if you see where this little hole is, that pin is going to pin in right there. It's going to be the same on this side. Just like so. Boom. And there you go. And you can also bring out his landing gear, which also has a wheel that actually spins, not a fake wheel like some of the toys do. And there you go. There is Thrust in his robot mode. Oh, but to complete it, you can add his cool looking missiles. Just like that. And you can put Inferno right where his hole is. He can fit right there. Just like that. And there you go. It is Thrust and Inferno in their robot modes. And I think it's so cool that they made a storage place for Inferno. I think that is absolutely ingenious of Hasbro to do. That was really, really cool. And I actually like the jet mode. It looks really cool. I can't find much to complain about it. As far as the bottom and robot jump, you can't really see any. Yeah, you can see his chest, but I mean, I wouldn't really know that these were his legs and everything. I mean, I think he's pretty well hidden, and I love how this kind of relates back to his G1 mode, because they did the newer Seekers, the cone head Seekers as they were called, did have these circular fans in the middle, and this really cool Decepticon logo. I love it. One more thing I'll show you is that if Inferno is pushed backwards, do that again. He can also shoot too while in robot mode. All you do is you push him back, just backwards like that. And when you notice that the little green tab comes up, you'll know that it's fired and everything. So I am just super impressed with this figure, and I was lucky enough to pick him up at a thrift store in this good of condition, and he amazes me all the time, and I'm so impressed with this figure. I like how it's not symmetrical, and I know for some people that bugs them when it's not, but for me, I like it being a little bit different, because it adds more, I don't know, it makes it more unique in my opinion. Like, you can see like a little bit of wires showing here, and all armor showed here, everything. I mean, I really like that. And with the chest too, I think that's cool how both sides are a little bit different and everything. So I really dig that cool look that Hasbro went through. It does have wheels that move. It moves really nicely. No resistance or anything. It moves really nicely. So I think that's just about it. So do I recommend this figure? 100% I do. It's a great toy for Transformers fans who are just beginning to get used to transforming. It's a great collector's item. It looks really cool in both robot and in jet mode. Either mode I think would be great on a display case for the Armada series or even G1. I would totally put this guy with G1. He looks so cool. Alright guys, well I think that's just about it. Thank you so much for listening to this review, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Till all are one.